we came to visit a few years back. We found ourselves just taken with the beauty, the preservation, the color, the tropical plants, and reminded us very much of Omaha, a city that we had lived in for the most of the first part of our marriage, and was also a preserved older city. And so it felt like home, but more beautiful and more lush and more colorful and more intentional. Our intention when we moved here was actually to find an older home and restore it, make it everything that we wanted. And what was going on in the market, it was just slightly post-pandemic, and a lot of people were moving here, and some family health issues. It seemed like a new build, which was like the furthest thing from our idea, was going to be to pivot, and that was going to be the best option. The style of the particular builders really trying to stay in step with the established house styles of the region. They very intentionally picked really intentional builders who took pride in representing the area and not just turning out a mass product that you could find anywhere in the United States. In particular, this home was modeled after a Charleston single, which is like one of the oldest, most beloved home styles in the whole region. And it was borrowed actually from Barbados. And it was, while it's charming and an easy structure, it also is functional because the airflow of the house helps with the climate. This home doesn't have one, but has two front-facing porches, and the porch life here is a very real dynamic. It's not to be underestimated. Actually, decorating both porches like another room is important, because there tends to be a little bit of sport in the neighborhood, walking around and assessing porches. And it's a reflection, a statement of, how you live and who you are as a family. And also, as it is such a livable community, stop and want to chat with you if you're sitting outside, in the middle of the afternoon with your iced tea or your happy hour drink, and just make friends, get to know people, want to talk about their life and what they're doing, and get to know each other. And this house particularly is great for living in the community, because not one but two porches. Living in Charleston, there is so much architecture and color and patina and detail. It's infinite. So as a creative person, it's wonderful. It's like a smorgasbord for the senses. So by very specific design, I chose a palette that would be cleansing when you came home. That it would be very soothing, that the brain could quiet itself. And so it was really important to me that the design choices in here were the interest was not going to come from color, although the feeling of being peaceful and cocooned is, but the interest is going to come from textures, from elements, from living plants, which I think is critically important in any space. And the interest is going to come from just tactile comfort, just being every person in here feeling very lavished and comfortable and not stuffy. And then of course, family is a huge thing to me, and I want people to maybe not even know why they love being in my house. They don't have to think about it that hard. They don't have to ooh and ah over my choices. But when they walk in, that they just feel like they can take it down a notch, and they feel like hugged when they get in here. I think it's really important wherever you live to be excellent and stand out in that way, but to also pay homage and to be harmonious with your surroundings. And so materials made of bamboo or rattan or cane are all little nods to the area and to the rich history. Things that I really fell in love with was the pinks, which surprised me. I love the pinks. It's evident in the morning sunshine. It's evident in beach walks at night. The clouds at night are pastel. There's a lot of, it's hot here, so there's a lot of feminine flowy dresses that women are wearing. There's the oldest house in downtown Charleston is called the Little Pink House. So it's just very identifying quality of living here. Pink almost plays like a neutral. On the island, they call Messel Green. He was a set decorator of the last century, and almost anything he touched, he would do the shutters or the furniture in this beautiful sea foamy minty green. And then Amanda Lindroth has actually adopted that as her iconic color, and it's a Benjamin Moore color called Southfield Green. And it just adds this, it's not too precious, but it adds this really beautiful, natural, fresh green to, again, it plays like a neutral. So these were little things that I stumbled upon when I started to dive into what kind of design references actually give integrity to the area. Your style is like a fingerprint. It's something that you already have, and that it is continually being informed by your experiences and seeking out inspiration. So if I were to tell the next generation, or any new homeowner, doesn't matter what generation they are, but especially the next generation, where they've been just impacted by so much visual information and data, all through social media and other platforms, I would really encourage them to not chase a trend. Once we see a trend on TikTok or on Instagram, then we see it everywhere, and that's good, and I mean, it's wonderful in many ways, but also what it does is it takes authenticity away. And the only way to really cultivate that is to inventory yourself and inventory what makes you feel inspired, and inventory what makes you feel at home yourself. And when you walk in, you see the things that are familiar and meaningful to you.